So, Vuarnet meets Tram Railway. These are the cable car models from Vuarnet. So, they have several different ones in this collection. You've got this one, which is that large classic round. And come on, looking cool in pink and gold. So, that's the one I'm starting with. And of course, they have various colors in all the frames. They've also got this smaller version, which is especially for the people with a smaller face. Not quite for me. It's a little bit tight, fits great on my son, so good for kids too, which is very unusual for Vuarnet's glasses because a lot of them, as you guys know, are mostly in larger sizes, and that can be a challenge when you're looking for a good pair of sunglasses and you have a tiny face. It gets fun sometimes. But back to the core. So the cable car, these are designed and inspired by the tram railway systems like you would find in some major cities, San Francisco, Lisbon, anything along those lines. You get that kind of classic, you can almost see it. You've got these little flares on the end, and of course the little connecting cable. They call this a double bridge, which really surprises me because, you know, we all think of the double bridge as the two bars running across the top or wherever. To be honest, I'm not quite sure where the double bridge idea comes from. That's a good question to ask Vuarnet. I'll have to get on that. But anyways, back to the core here. So these guys, like all Vuarnet frames, are made using that nylon composite. Very nice matte finish on a majority of this collection. I think they have some polished finishes as well, like on the smaller cable car I showed just a moment ago. You have that very nice polished finish on the clear bottom, but just a basic gray with a matte finish everywhere else. Of course, very nice hinges, just like you would expect in any of the Vuarnet frames, and a good sturdy core throughout. You know, you're not gonna just bend that out of shape easily. So like all Vuarnets, they're going to hold their shape well. And of course, Vuarnet lenses, you know we can't go wrong there. So it's great stuff. The cool thing I like about these cable cars is they have that very retro vintage inspired feel to them, at least to me. And it, you know, I guess naturally you think the trams, you think old school, even though it is modern with mass transportation, it just has kind of that old vibe to it. I don't know why that is. At least it does for me. What do you guys think? Does it have that old vibe to it? I get that. Maybe you don't. I don't know. So I mentioned there were a few different shapes, and I've only shown you two. The other shape I do not actually have in the store currently, but it's a little bit more squared off than these. You can find those on the Vuarnet website, of course. But instead of that round, it's going to be more flat through the top and bottom, and of course comes out to the same point on either side. So it's still got that kind of a vintagey shape to it. Not really a cat eye, and I definitely wouldn't call it a true rectangle, but it's somewhere in between. It definitely doesn't get into the butterfly family because it doesn't have that kind of out and up lift you would have on a more rectangular cat eye look. But that's another story, and in fact that's something we should do sometime. But anyways, so another Vuarnet down in the collection. I've got some new ones coming soon, so we'll get into those as they start rolling in. And I actually had a request for the clip-ons recently, so we'll be getting those next week to review. But for now, let me know your thoughts. What do you think of the cable car? Does it really have that call to the era of trams running around everywhere? I think it does. I see it. I like it. But let me know your thoughts because those are the ones I care about. And if you have any other particular things you would like to see, lens technology, adjustments, frames, you want reviewed, of course, I have access to a few things. At any rate, if you guys like the video, like, subscribe, ring the bell if you haven't already so you can keep up with the latest videos and latest reviews and the coolest things in fashion eyewear. And if there's anything you want to see, let me know, but otherwise I will see you guys next time.